I'm live. Hello, everyone. As Ellis sits here celebrating, and she's the first one on. Liam's over here playing ball, going foul, going foul, going foul. He's actually getting on the show. Addison's over there playing with Play-Doh, going like. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say the pledge. Then I'm going to go ahead and play the music, and then we're going to get into the show. I get my flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again. Just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom.
You can't do that again.
And they can't take that away.
I said on my chair.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the man who died.
So you have to find spots?
Yeah, right. You probably just do. Stand up next to you, and if it hurts you today, there ain't no doubt as long as God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart.
I just do it.
But don't tell everybody.
Tell everybody what.
She just smiling. She leaned up and smiled. She looks up at me and says, I just tuned it. You're farting on my chair? You're farting on my chair?
There's something like this here. Do you want me to get ready for it?
When I sit down.
Okay.
Here, hop down. I gotta sit down. Hop up. Proud to be an American. God bless the USA. Yes, we are. We are. And before I go any further, I do want to make the announcement that this video is not made for children. They can watch it under the discretion of their parents, their grandparents, or their legal guardians. Ella, Addison, and Liam, you have permission to watch the video. But we've been doing some daytimes because some of it because of ball games with Liam. He unfortunately, I'd like to say laid an egg, but as bad as they got their ass kicked the other night, it was more than an egg. I'm trying to get his attention over there. He's sitting on the floor, but he played very well. Liam led the team in on-base percentage. He started to He started to be the leadoff hitter, and when they moved him into that position, he excelled. He he came a long way. He had a very good season. I look forward to next year. I look forward to starting. I look forward to the beds where I can get a little more energetic in with him and really working with him. Hi, Myrna. Hi, John. Hi, Ella. Hi, Diane. Hi, Johnny. Hi, Hubert Mafia. Okay. But anyway, if I miss you, I'm sorry. I can't catch everybody, but I try. Good to see new faces on here. Myrna, how are you doing? It's been a while. You're working and you'll try to listen. Myrna, if I come, would you cut my hair, please? But anyway, this is not meant for children, but they can watch it under the discretion. Plus the fact that the music that we played, I have no legal rights to. It's for entertainment purposes only. As you see, Ella looking out the window, it's raining very, very hard here. And that's another reason I have been doing the afternoon shows, is because when Ron got sick the last time, we had to put a new heater in. We did not put air conditioning in yet. We're looking into getting a window air conditioning to cool his house off. But when we have an 85 to 90 or even hotter degree day here, his hot house gets very warm. We have fans that we run on each other, but I don't want the heat to mess up the computers, the phones, and things like that. So I'm sitting in the air conditioning of my daughter's kitchen, watching Patriots super gymnasts do dancing and gymnastics over here. The little monkey is playing with Play-Doh, and God only knows what Liam is doing over there on the floor by himself, smiling. So Justin is here. Anybody else that I miss? Jeffrey, good to see you. Illinois. Where do you live, Hubert? Yeah, real hard. So let's get in with the kids, Super Jimmy and that. And I know you're going through hard times, buddy, but they'll never be the same, but they'll get better. Patriot 11, I think you've left us. But, you know, he's a young kid that big into riding horses, and we're supposed to get a ranch, and he's supposed to teach people how to ride. Ella was asking me who Patriot 11 was, but I haven't heard from him now for over a year. Sarita, good to see you. Is Janet? I didn't see Janet. Come on. Hello, Janet. Janet, Cindy is really wanting to talk to you, as I am too, but we're trying to figure out how we can get your... Hi, Johnny. We're trying to figure out how we can get your number without giving it to the whole crowd, but we'll figure something out. Patriot Karate Kid and Super Gymnast. I mean, and not Super Gymnast. She's right here by me. Guys, I'm going to do some geometry. I'm talking to the adults here, but I've come up with some geometry, and I meant to write it down, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But Patriot Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold, tremendous mom. Patriot Princess, our queen, who's also a tremendous ball player. Keep waiting to get updates, but Grandma's she's too busy baking. But I don't know if you guys seen Janice, picture of Janice's mom in the paper. Very beautiful young lady. She seems like a sweet, the type of person everyone would be proud to call mom. Patriot Hunter. And when I said Patriot Hunter, my grandkids' dog turned around and looked at me like, what do you want? That's what they named their dog. Not if they're citizens, I don't. If they're not citizens, if they're in here illegally, I think they should go back. But if they're not citizens, if they are citizens, why should they have to pay extra taxes? But Hubert, let's keep questions like that for just a little bit. We're only gonna have the actual show maybe 20 to 25 minutes, and then we're gonna do a question and answers. So let's do the questions then. So Patriot Boogie, Bugs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo, John's grandchildren. Oh, are they growing like little weeds? Little Leona, the little girl that was named after my mom. You know, what an amazing little girl. She's so cute and just like John's grandkids are. He actually has a teenager. I tell you, John's going to be like me with no hair. I used to have a full head of hair until my daughter became a teenager, and then I pulled it all out. If you believe that one, I'll sell you a bridge. You know, yesterday was supposed to be a birthday of a big statue. Why didn't we take it down? I don't understand. So LA is fascinated with this rain today. I don't know why it rains almost every other day, but anyway, we have Patriot, little Elan, who I have not been in contact with anybody there for a while, but it is what it is. And then the rest of the kids, we have Patriot super gymnast, who's Ella, who is going in to talk to her mommy. You got Patriot 7, old Liam over there. Already talked about him having a great baseball season. And now we got to get ready for All-Stars because he actually made All-Stars. We have Patriot little monkey who's sitting here playing with Play-Doh, and I'm sure her mother's going to come out any minute and yell at her for getting the table messed up. But she'll just smile at her mom and everything will be good. Remember that, guys, when you was that young and when mom would yell at you, you smile at her. And my mom always thought it was laughing at her. Bam! No, what my mom did to me, if she got mad at me and wanted to punish me, she made me go cut my own switch. And it better be big enough because if it wasn't, she'd go cut it. Isn't that right, Ron? I see Ron's on here. Uncle Ron's on. Say hi to him. Hello. We got to come over here and say so we can hear you. Say hi, Uncle Ron.
Hi, Uncle Ron.
Well, you didn't see you. Quit being goofy. She's a silly little girl. Then we have that little monkey. We have Patriot Small Hank, who just got a new stripe for his belt. He's an orange belt, which means the next time he gets tested, he'll move to a different color. Hi, Mike Davis. Good to see you. John, good to see you. I think I said hi to you already, John. And then we finish up with little Kira. This little girl, for everything she's went through, she has a mind. Oh, my goodness. She gets something in her head. Don't try to change it. So that takes care of the kids. And once again, remember, this video is not made for kids. It's meant for adults, but you can watch it, kids, under the discretion of your parents, grandparents, or great-grand, legal guardians, whatever. So, as Bruce likes to say, where are we now? Well, I don't know. I believe close. I'm not going to give up any dates. I will say what he said. Whoa, guys, we may lose it. Guys, if we lose the show, it's because the power's going out. It just flickered. As far as I know, I'm still live. Yep, Ron just came on. Addison, Uncle Ron wants to know what you're doing. She's being real goofy, Uncle Ron. So we're going to talk a little quicker, but Bruce said last night, really, we wouldn't hear anything, that the hat was supposed to make it a major announcement. And I don't know about you guys, but when we had that recorded message that he was supposed to play on Monday, I was pumped. I couldn't wait. Really, I couldn't wait for the weekend to be over. And I'm not a person that believes in wishing for a day to pass because I don't like to give up days of my life. We're going to, Justin, thank you. But I couldn't wait till Monday because it was supposed to be played at about 7 o'clock my time, Central Standard Time. And he never showed up and no excuses. And now you're hearing all this about these countries with the missiles and you're hearing everything else. And what?
That's what I sent to you.
Oh, That's what, see what Addison just sent under Ella's name. She just sent that. Thank you. So let me see what I need here. I think this is what I need. So I do want to go, and I'm just going to read Bruce real quickly. Bruce give us a whole 6 minutes and 5 seconds last night. Did you see what she's put up there? So Bruce's intel, the one that you read. Lots going on, Bruce says. We're supposed to keep an eye on the next 4 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. What is happening in those 4 days? We are looking for program trades being activated in USN as opposed to USD. Our new digital currency is digitally backed by XRP, very positive for value of the USN currency. They are doing program trades on various bonds and currency and are paying out USN. Those need to occur in the next 4 days for us to receive our 800 numbers. We are hearing Sunday night, maybe Monday for those emails. So we could begin exchanges early next week, most likely Tuesday. We may get an announcement from President the Hat to the extent that June 19th, Juneteenth, is the day that slaves in South received the Emancipation Proclamation that President Lincoln. It is a very important date for Black and white people in this country. Could the end of slavery also be extended to financial slavery? We've been under there. Therefore, Juneteenth gives emancipation to all, regardless of race. We are looking at what is happening with Israel and Iran, and President the Hat did refer to a term. Did return as a term. We, as far as Israel and the USA, stating we had superior airspace over Iran. The Ayatollah been given ultimatum for complete surrender for many reasons. This would be a positive thing for the emancipation of the people of Iran. And Bruce thinks this whole thing is leading to a new government and freedom for the people of Iran. President the Hat wants to not make I lost where I was at. Wants to not make war, but wants to make Iran have opportunities to make money, have trade opportunity. USA does not want to take out their oil platform, as this is how they make their living. It is too valuable a benefit for the people of Iran. Therefore, Bruce thinks Juneteenth is a global emancipation day, possibly for Iran. Today is the 17th. The 19th is Thursday, and we would have another call, but I do not know if we get the numbers before Saturday, but we have been told Sunday or Monday, or that for the 800 numbers. That was written up by Carpathia, who listens to Bruce. I think Carpathia got frustrated at that point because Bruce did come back and say a few more things, nothing of any importance. Just, I think he did it because he listened to people who's putting out his videos. And Bruce thinks more right now about Sue and about Bob and about selling their products. He's so hung up on money that he doesn't care right now about his people. And I'm not cutting Bruce down. It's his show. If money means more to him than the people who follow him, then that's what he's going to do. But that's not the way to do it. And I truthfully believe, and I'm not mentioning names, but there's a lot of people out there doing shows like this that think too much about money. One of the main reasons I got started in this, guys, folks, one of the main reasons I got going was a guy by the name of David Rodriguez, a professional boxer who, when he quit boxing, he became a Patriot. He was working with 107. They had just come back from a major event, and they was talking about it. And they both discussed and said, we need to get more people out there doing shows like this. It doesn't matter if you have a few people following you or if you have thousands upon thousands. We just need to get it out there. What you looking at? So I started the show that day. And he was one of the main reasons. I do not ever listen to anything he says again because it's all about money to him. It's all about money to him. And he even comes out and tells you, if you don't like the fact that he's making thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars against us, using us, and he doesn't care, don't follow him, and I don't. But there was one other gentleman that got me started. A gentleman that I listened to a video of everything he's went through, and I said, "I sounds like me in a way." And that man's name was Mike Lindell. You know, Mr. Pillow. Breaking, Mike Lindell vindicated in defamation trial, and My Pillow pays absolutely nothing. $0, 0 cents, fully exonerated. Yes, that's pretty cool. This is what she just made.
A donut.
Hey, she made a donut. Oh, it don't taste like a donut. In a major free speech victory, Mike Lindell refused to settle and took the case to trial. The result, no malice, no punitive damages, no conspiracy. My Pillow completely cleared of liability. While media corporations paid hundreds of millions to avoid trial, Lindell stood firm and won. Eric Coomer sought over $60 million. The jury awarded him less than 5% and nothing from My Pillow. And then it goes on to tell you how you can be in touch with My Pillow. I was wondering what had happened to Mike. If you remember, Mike used to show up at every event that the hat had. He was there. He would speak for him. He was always there, and the hat always talked to him. But all of a sudden it disappeared, and I was wondering what happened. Now we know. And I congratulate Mike for having the stones to stand up and take on the corporation that is so corrupt, but he won because God is on his side and God brings justice to all of us. How's the weather up there? Guys, the weather here is very nasty. It's very rainy. So wars, rumors of wars, all biblical. Yes, they are, John. To be honest with you, you know, they're shooting missiles. John, think about this, and I'll discuss this if people want to talk about it. They're shooting missiles. But what happened? We were told that there is no actual missiles really that can do harm. I don't understand it. You know, we all know what's going on in them two other countries, the Ukraine and Rus. You know, we all know what's going on there. And we're Ron, 6 minutes and 1 second. Oh, I'm sorry. I said 6 minutes and 5 seconds. Ron corrected me and said Bruce was 6 minutes and 1 second. So the July 4th celebration was never just a tribute to the past. It was an ignition of the new future. Right now, behind the scenes, systems are executing with mathematical precision. The Starlink relay continues uninterrupted. QFS wallets are being pinged with digital handshakes protocols. The gold certificates assigned to each sovereign ID are being validated in real time. What began as silent shift is now an unstoppable current flowing across the country, the continents. As of June 13, 2025, intelligence teams have confirmed that over 89% of fiat structured banking systems are now fully disconnected from central control grids. Parallel sovereign ledgers are live and mirroring activity across IMS, BRICS, and new EURASIAN exchange nodes. Final descriptions of the Rothschild Global Accounts holiday holdings have been completed. Assets locked and that. Okay. So we are where we need to be, guys. We're doing what we need to do. And that's good. TNT, Tony, guys, relax and enjoy your day. It's done. Great week ahead from TNT, Tony. He's supposed to talk more tonight. Let's see what the Restored Republic, the reading part has to say. We have it here. This might be it here. Nope. Maybe I don't have it. Maybe I do. Okay, this is it. Excuse me. I just ordered something to take care of this cough, this stuff that's in me. So we'll see what happens. This is Judy Bidington, June 18, 2025. God is in charge. Trust the plan. The greatest transfer of wealth in history is underway. Prepare.
You have to see those big puddles up there.
I will. I'll look as soon as the show's over, okay?
It's like so huge.
Oh, they are. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God. Their whole block is underwater. I hope I can get my car out. The greatest transfer of wealth in history is underway. Prepare for blackout. Midnight Sunday, 22 June 2025. New travel restrictions go into effect. Ooh, that's not going to be good for my son. Stay off all airlines. Well, he's not getting on one. All flights canceled. Internet shut off. Stock market crash. Mass media gone. We can only hope. My grandkids are very concerned about the weather out here. Huh? I know. The road is completely flooded out here. If you are on the right path, it will always be uphill. Judy, note, it has been known that the rat deep state worked hard to import millions of illegals. Period.
We might go and get
And I want to talk about the illegals because I've had several people come on and call me some very, very bad names through email, through texting, or things like that. They've called me some very, very bad names about my feelings about illegals. And I feel anybody deserves a chance to live in the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. Yes, Russ, I truthfully believe what you said is correct. Me and Marianne talk about that all the time. And I have no trouble anybody being in this country as long as they come in. And it was either last week or the week before. We had a gentleman on that his dad was being deported. He was here illegally. And he'd been here for 20 years. And I believe people like that should have the opportunity to have a special meeting, to go in front of a board and show that they deserve to be here and apply right here and there right now to be a citizen of the United States and to stay here and doing as long as they cause no trouble. But the people that they was illegally bringing over here, to me, you can't get them out of here quicker. There's no reason that we should be paying taxes to take care of them. I live in Illinois, and you know, one of my dearest friends is Linda Scullion. Me and her are really close, and she posted something the other day, and it hit me like a brick crap house because she posted that Illinois is probably the most vicious state in the union when it comes to something like this. But I love Illinois. And I look at the good Illinois, the good people, not the ones that's being run by the fat man, not the ones that's under the spell of the fat man, but the people who love Illinois like I love Illinois, not the people who's in Chicago, who's being run by the worst mayor in the history of Chicago. But the people that if you look, the hat won Illinois, the majority of Illinois but they lost Chicago and they lost to the fat man. That's why Illinois is not a red state and a blue state. It's not because the majority of the state, it has to do with Chicago and the corruptness there. And yes, it is a corrupt state as long as the fat man, but we all know that the fat man is probably at this point taking a nap. My only hopes and prayers that it's a dirt nap. I mean, I don't like the man. Any man that would take a mansion and because he didn't want to pay taxes on it, rip every bathroom in a mansion, 8 bathrooms. I have a tickle in my throat, and water is not helping. He ripped every bathroom out, so his house was considered incomplete, and he didn't have to pay taxes on it that year. His whole family doesn't even like him, but unfortunately, he's still a billionaire. And my opinion is he probably buys things to get things done.
Hunter, come on, out.
He doesn't get them the right way.
Hunter, you're so.
So, a lot of the rest of the things Judy said, I've talked about. What's fair? I know I've seen it. They're really having trouble here at this house. Their road is flooding. The trouble is, I got to get off of the road. I got to back into it and but I will. I'm gonna call the rest of the show an end. I'm going to do questions and answers, and I'm hoping Ella comes back in here and answers them, asks me and helps me. She usually points them out. We just had a flash. I believe that if they turn the news on here, that they're going to have one here. I've never seen. I mean, my daughter's lived over here since she was 18 years old, and I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but let's put it this way: she's closer to one age than she is another. She just had a birthday. So if anybody has questions, feel free to ask them. I'll do the best I can to answer, guys. I don't know everything. I know John knows a lot. Mike Davis knows a lot. So if I don't answer it, anybody who has the answer, I would gladly appreciate the help. But we've been doing this now for a little bit. I enjoy this. Now that I'm back using the computer, I can see. I can answer that when John said his day's going pretty good, Ron. Oh, so don't be shy. Ask questions. I thought, it was when we was doing the shows earlier, we was doing them in a way where we were getting a lot of people from a lot of countries. But I haven't seen really many new people on. We got 37 people on, but we're 27 seconds away from being on for 33 minutes. What do I think about lobster wallet? I have no idea what lobster wallet is. Okay. John says his day's doing okay. Ron, how's your day doing? Could someone explain what lobster, LOBSTR wallet is? I don't know, understand. I don't know it. Let me see.
Probably not anything good.
Huh?
That's probably not anything good. Hunter.
Okay, it's a wallet for Androids, it says here. I don't know nothing about it. I don't have it, so I don't really have wallets online. I don't like to trust my money. It's digital currency, yes. I will research it, and on the next show, I'll see if I can give you an answer. Okay, that's the only thing I can say. Buyer beware, John says. So evidently he's a little cynical, a little nervous about it. So John put 17 up there. Now I was mentioning earlier in the show that I had planned on having some gematria today because I was sitting around the other day and I did a gematria on Patriot 6. That would be Ron. I did that because I wanted to see what it'd be, but I didn't put Patriot 6. I put Patriot SIX. And I like my money in my hand. You know, I know we're going to go to a system where it's all going to be safe, but right now I don't trust. Storm went away from here right now. Good. Since we're not getting a lot of questions, I'm gonna do the no. Guys, look at what Mike Davis just said. Do not buy anything about QFS things. No. Hi, Colleen. Do not, if you get anything, if you get anything, and even, here's the deal. Even if you get a call and someone says, hey, and I'm going to pick Colleen out because her name was the last one to come. I just said something to her. Colleen gets a call and at the end they say, hey, Colleen, or whatever they call her by her last name or whatever. They say to her, they say, we've noticed that you're behind in haven't made your electric bill this month. And she may say something like, I could swore I paid that payment. And they'll say, well, no, it hasn't, but we can take care of that today. If you would like to get your checkbook or your credit card, we can take the payment today. Just hang up. Guys, you know what bills you pay. If people are calling you, first of all, they call you about gas, electric, things like that. They're not going to cancel you if you're a few days late. You usually got at least a month, sometimes 6 weeks to be late before they do this. But Patriot 6, it has a value of, let me see, 151. Jesus Christ is 151. What is my name is 151. Holy Spirit is 151. Messiah Christ is 151. This is one that I really like. The next two I really like. The Great Reset is 151. Drain the Swamp is 151. Revolution is 151. Jesus is Lord is 151. Galactic Alignment is 151. Valentine's Day is 151. Son of Lord is 151. The Christ Key is 157. I am the Son of God is 151. The Hidden Messiah is 151. I'm so sorry is 151. Superstar DJ is 151. What is our president's first initial and middle initial? Okay. Jesus Father is 151. A rock star leader is 151. Jesus died an idol is 151. The King Christ is 151. Hold on, I'm coming is 151. Retribution is 151. Christ's new life is 151. Guys, when I read that, I don't think I have ever read a gematria Yes, that's one they're using. You will be notified. Okay, what now, Mike? What are you saying? You will be notified by someone from the Hats team on your phone. Is that another scam they're running, trying to get you interested, or what is this? Some rum is 151. I didn't see that there. But that's a good one. Some rum is 151, they said. I took a shot in the dark when you said that about some rum is 151, but I put in there have a Coke, or maybe nah. I don't think it would be anymore. What is rum and Coke? Yeah, I don't drink Coke. I never will. Coke eats your insides out. You know, guys, tell you a little story about the soda Coke. When I worked at a battery factory, I got injured. I had to go on light duty, and the job they give me a bunch of rags. They give me big bottles of Coke, and they said, clean the corrosion off of these batteries. I said, what? They said, clean the corrosion off the batteries. I said, what do you mean? Hi, Colleen. I said, what do you mean? They said, just pour it on there, wipe it off, and it'll clean it. I said, are you kidding me? They said, no. I said, this is ludicrous. And then I poured some on, and it does. If it will eat up corrosion, what is it doing to the inside of your stomach? And I used to love Coke. Buyer beware. Any more questions? I lost my help. They left me. They're outside. I mean, it rained really unbelievably hard here. Here comes the monkey. So, if there is no questions, I think
It's like flooding out there.
I know it's flooding out there. If there is no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day. I plan on being back Friday evening instead of Friday in the afternoon, but we play everything by ear right now. If something happens, I will come on, and I want to thank everybody for coming on today. We don't get a whole lot of people, but it's there. They can watch it at 7 o'clock when we normally have it. So. Well, Mafia Man, I don't want any illegals in my country at all. I've never really investigated legal radical Muslims. So I really am not an expert to answer that. But in my situation, if you're going to be in my country, your country, I believe you have to be legal. Now, I'm going to turn the table here, Hubert Mafia. I'm going to ask you the same question. And I'm going to add a little more. Do you believe you should be legal if you're in this country? Because if you come in illegal, you're a criminal because you broke a law. You know, it's funny. It's really funny because my son in October is going to Jamaica. When he comes back and he gets off of that plane, if he doesn't have his papers to show that he's an American citizen, to show his passport, to show everything. Now, he just got off of a plane that he had to prove who he was. He can't change in air But now, the same way with my grandkids and my daughter-in-law, they have to prove to come into my country, to our country, they have to prove that they are Americans and they deserve to be here. So why should we approve anybody who comes in illegally? And then not only do they come in illegally, and I've seen the city of Chicago go to hell in a handbasket because of all the illegals. I see people who can't get a job, but illegals come in and they treat them like they're the kings and queens of the world. So if you want to talk to me about anything illegal, no, an illegal is not allowed in this country. If they're illegally in, they go to the right people. And I know there's people who's been here for 25 and 30 years. Then do things right, because we should have sympathy on the people that are good and grant them citizenship over the people who's here that takes money just to go out and get in riots and cause confusion and things like that. But I'd like to see your answer to that question too.
You lost Ella's interest.
What?
Ella, you lost Ella.
Yeah, she's playing.
She started getting freaked out when the storm.
Yeah, I know.
She didn't want to do
I know.
anything.
So, thank you, Tony.
Huh?
Yes. And see, and that's another reason. Here's a gentleman saying his Social Security pays him a country that he worked to earn money, and they give him $900. You can't live on $900 a month. He's living out of his van, and it's getting hot. We need to get this done. Forget about the illegals. Forget about shipping them back. Put them someplace where we can hold on to them until we can ship them back. But take care of the people who deserve to be here, who was born here, who's been a United States citizen from the day they were born. Well, he says let's play fair, John, but then is he playing fair? Because it seems to me right now he's taking care of the people he wants to take care of. And, you know, I'm going back up here to reading this $900 per month living in his van, and it's getting hot. Yes, he is. He's supposedly he's getting rid of them. I hope he does. Yes, I really do. But for how long have we been told we're going to get this list? We're going to know who's alive, who's not alive, who's with us, who's not with us. But it just keeps going on and on. And me and Ron was talking, Patriots 6, we were talking a couple of days ago, and I'm not going to bring the people's names up now because I don't want to do that. But there were some people that towards the end of last year, 2024, they came on our show and they was distraught. They said, I'm giving it to the first of the year. I'm giving it to the first of the year. If not, I'm gone. And several people also followed him and said, yeah, the same thing. And I said, hey guys, why don't you give it till February 1st? And then I said, no, give it to my birthday, February 4th. I said, I'm stubborn. Me and Ron's been doing stuff like this since 2008, so we've been in it a long, long time. I said, I'm going to stay in it. I promised God that I would stay in it and see this through to the end and try to help as many people as I can till the end. But I said to him, I says, give it till February 4th. And they did. And I never even thought nothing about it. But as I talked to Ron a couple of days ago, there's several people that we and him talked about that we haven't seen probably since about February 4th. So how many people are going to be willing, John, you're here, Mike, you're here, Russ, you're here, Janet, you're always here. How long are we going to keep going? I'm here for the long run, guys. I'm trying to put something together to try to figure out how we're going to do this. And I think one of the main things we're going to do is after all of this happens, we will do a show here, and I will give up something on here where I figure once we have the money, once we do this, we want to stay in contact, but we need to I'll have my own studio. Me and Ron will have our own studio where we can go on all the formats. We can do a show on one and we can take it to all of them. And my son promised me that when this happens, if it happens in his words, that he would work with us to help me make that happen. No. Poobert, you say we should use the illegals to build what? No. If they're illegal, they go home. That's my feelings, and maybe you do have something there. They've taken so much, but still, if you're going to use them to build new houses and do things like this and do this and do that, what is the crime going to be is number one. Is it fair to people that we're no better than another country that uses kids to make things for literally nothing so they can sell it and become billionaires? It's a catch-22. Okay. Mike Davis says, trust me when I say this is within 2 weeks. This will be happy times. That's exactly how I feel, Mike. As a matter of fact, I was talking to a young lady earlier today, and I was telling her, my feelings is this will be done before 4th of July. I believe we will have an amazing 4th of July. I've said these things before about days. That's why I don't like to pick days. Well, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to go out and check on my granddaughter. She got a little upset with the weather. She does not like storms. I'm going to go check on her, talk to my daughter for a little bit, and then I got some things I got to do. So I will see you. We'll see you Friday night, if not sooner.
Well, I can get out now.
If I can shut this off. There we go.